What if I told you that every dream you ever had, every goal, every desire could become real, not through luck or magic, but through the power of your own mind? This isn't just another self-help promise, it's a truth that has changed millions of lives for nearly a century. And it all began with one book, Think and Grow Rich. This book doesn't just teach you how to make money, it teaches you how to think, and once you change the way you think, wealth in all forms will follow. This book is not about quick success or easy money. It's about understanding the hidden laws that shape success itself, the laws of thought, belief, and persistence. The author spent more than 20 years studying the most successful people of his time, inventors, business leaders, visionaries, searching for the common thread that made them rich, powerful, and fulfilled. And what he discovered is this: riches begin in the mind long before they appear in your hands. This is what makes Think and Grow Rich special. It shows that success is not a secret kept by the wealthy, but a state of mind available to anyone who dares to believe and act with purpose. Think and Grow Rich is one of the most influential personal development books ever written. It is built around 13 powerful principles, each one revealing a step toward mastering your thoughts, shaping your desires, and turning them into tangible results. The book begins with a simple but life-changing idea. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. From desire and faith, to imagination, decision, persistence, and the power of the subconscious mind, each chapter uncovers a different key to creating lasting success from within. Introduction. Everything great begins with a single thought, a spark, a whisper inside the mind that says, "Maybe I can." That's how every success story starts, not with wealth, not with luck, but with a thought that refuses to die. The idea behind Think and Grow Rich was born from a simple question: what makes some people succeed while others, equally talented, fail? The author wanted to find the real formula, not theories or luck, but a path anyone could follow. He spent over 20 years studying the lives of the most powerful people of his time, inventors, leaders, businessmen, and dreamers. From Thomas Edison to Henry Ford, he searched for patterns, habits, and mental attitudes that turned ordinary people into legends. What he discovered changed everything. Riches are not just about money, they are about mindset. The introduction tells us that every person carries within them a hidden treasure, a power of thought so strong it can shape their reality. Most people never discover it because they don't believe their thoughts have real power, but those who do transform their lives. The message is clear: you become what you think about most of the time. If your thoughts are filled with fear, you create barriers. But if your mind is filled with vision, determination, and belief, the world slowly rearranges itself to match that vision. The introduction also reminds us that this book is not built on fantasy or wishful thinking. Every principle inside it has been tested by real people, men and women who started with nothing and built everything through desire, belief, and persistence. It's not a book you read once, it's a book you live with. Each page asks you to think, to question, and to dream with purpose. It's not about being greedy, it's about discovering how powerful your mind can be when directed with clarity and faith. And the most important lesson in the introduction is this: every great achievement begins with desire. Desire is the engine that wakes you up early, keeps you moving when others quit, and helps you see opportunity where others see failure. Before any success can exist in the physical world, it must first be built in your imagination. The introduction invites you to believe that your thoughts are not small or meaningless, they are seeds of creation. If you water them with faith and persistence, they will grow into reality. So this is not just a book about getting rich. It's a guide to transforming your inner world, to understanding that the richest soil for success is your own mind. Once you learn to plant the right thoughts, everything else follows naturally. In short, the introduction lights a fire within the reader. It whispers that greatness isn't reserved for the few, It's available to anyone who dares to believe deeply, act bravely, and never give up. Chapter 1. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Every great dream, every success story, every empire ever built began with one small but powerful spark: desire. Desire is not a wish. A wish is light, weak, and fleeting, something we hope for when life feels dull. But desire is fire. It is the quiet storm that burns inside the heart and refuses to fade, even when everything around you says it's impossible. The first step toward any achievement begins when a person feels a strong, specific, and burning desire to make something real. It's not enough to simply want success, you must hunger for it. The kind of desire that keeps you awake at night, that fills your thoughts during the day, that whispers in your ear when you're tired and says, keep going. This kind of desire changes who you are. It moves you from passive dreaming to active pursuit. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck, talent, or even intelligence. It's the strength of their desire. When your desire is clear, your mind begins to see paths and possibilities that were invisible before. Suddenly, you notice chances, people, and opportunities that align with your dream. But desire alone is not enough. It must be clear and specific. If you want to be rich, what does that mean to you? How much? By when? What will you give in return? The universe responds not to vague wishes, but to focused purpose. For example, imagine two people. One says, I want to be successful someday. The other says, I will earn $1 million within 5 years by building a business that helps people save time. The second person has already begun the journey. Why? Because their desire has form, it has direction. They've planted a seed with roots. When you set a clear desire, you give your subconscious mind a goal to work on day and night. The mind begins to attract ideas, inspiration, and even people who help make that dream a reality. But there's one more secret: persistence. Desire without persistence dies the moment it meets difficulty. Every person who ever succeeded had moments of failure, but their desire burned too brightly to quit. They used failure as fuel. Each setback reminded them of what they truly wanted. You see, the world doesn't reward half-hearted effort. It tests you first, asking, how much do you really want this? And only when your answer is, with everything I've got, does the world open its doors. Desire transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It gives strength to wake up earlier, to learn more, to try again after every mistake. It shapes your attitude, your actions, and even your destiny. But desire also demands responsibility. You must be honest with yourself. Are you ready to give what it takes? Are you willing to trade comfort for growth and fear for faith? Because the moment you commit, everything begins to move. The right opportunities appear, the right mentors show up, the right energy flows toward you. Desire doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees movement, and movement, step by step, leads to results. So write your desire, speak it, visualize it, let it become part of your identity. Don't just say, I want to succeed. Say, I will succeed because I must. And when you repeat this long enough, with passion and action behind your words, something powerful happens. Your mind believes it, your actions prove it, and your world reflects it. Remember this: a clear desire is the seed of destiny. Once planted and nurtured with faith and effort, it must grow. So start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Your desire is the perfect moment. Feed it, protect it, let it guide you through every doubt and challenge. Because everything you dream of achieving begins here, in the fire of a single, unstoppable desire. Chapter 2: Belief, the inner power that turns dreams into reality. After desire comes belief. Desire gives birth to a dream, but belief gives it life. You can have the strongest desire in the world, but if deep down you doubt yourself, if you whisper, maybe I can't, then your dream will fade before it even begins. Belief is the invisible force that tells your mind, yes, this is possible, I can do it, I will do it. The truth is simple. Whatever you believe, you become. When you truly believe in something, not just wish for it, but feel it in your bones, your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin to align with that belief. The mind is like soil. Whatever seed you plant, faith or fear, it will grow. Belief doesn't come from luck. It comes from choice. You choose what to believe, and that belief shapes how you see the world. Two people can face the same challenge. One says, "This is impossible." The other says, "There must be a way." The second person already has the advantage, because their belief opens doors that the other person's doubt has closed. Faith, in this sense, is not religious. It is mental and emotional strength. It is confidence in unseen outcomes. It is the voice inside you that says, "Even if I don't see the result yet, I know it's coming." Your subconscious mind listens closely to what you believe. It accepts your dominant thoughts as truth. If you constantly think, "I'm not smart enough," or "I'll never make it," your subconscious quietly agrees and directs your behavior to match that story. But if you train your mind to believe, "I'm capable, I'm improving, I'm becoming who I need to be," then your subconscious works day and night to make that story come true. This is why belief and desire must walk hand in hand. Desire sets the direction, belief fuels the journey. Many people fail not because their goal was too big, but because their belief was too small. They let fear steal their faith. They say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But success works the other way around. You see it because you believe it. Belief gives power to action. When you believe, you act differently, you walk with purpose, you speak with confidence, you keep moving forward even when things go wrong, because deep down, you know it's only temporary. History is full of examples of people who achieved what others called impossible. What made them different? It wasn't magic or genius, it was unshakable belief. They saw the goal so clearly in their minds that it felt real long before the world could see it. You can build this kind of belief too. Start small. Every time you face doubt, speak truth to yourself. Say, "I am capable, I have everything I need within me to begin. I can grow, I will not give up." Repeat it until your heart starts to believe it. The more you affirm your faith, the stronger it becomes. Belief is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more powerful it grows. You will notice something beautiful. When your belief becomes strong, life seems to meet you halfway. Opportunities appear, people support you, doors open. And even when they don't, you no longer wait for permission, you create your own path. The author of this philosophy reminds us that faith turns ordinary thoughts into creative power. When you believe in yourself and in your dream, your mind attracts ideas and circumstances that align with your vision. It's as if the whole universe begins to cooperate with your confidence. But remember, belief must be backed by action. Faith without effort is just a dream. Faith with persistence becomes destiny. When you look at great achievers, you'll see one thing in common: they refused to let doubt win. They believed in their vision when no one else did. They kept working, kept trying, and kept believing. Because the truth is, you don't need the whole world to believe in you. You just need you. So the next time you face a challenge, stop and remind yourself, "I am the result of my thoughts. I am capable of more than I imagine. I am becoming stronger, wiser, and closer to my dream every single day." Hold that belief, guard it fiercely. It is the foundation upon which every success is built. And when your faith grows stronger than your fear, your life will begin to change in ways you never thought possible. Key thought: your belief is the bridge between your desire and your success. Cross it with confidence, and the world will follow. Chapter 3: Self-Suggestion, Reprogramming the Mind for Success. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought you plant, whether positive or negative, grows roots and begins to shape your reality. Most people let this garden grow wild, full of weeds called doubt, fear, and limitation. But those who understand the power of self-suggestion learn how to plant only the seeds that lead to success. Self-suggestion means speaking to yourself with purpose. It is the conscious act of feeding your mind with thoughts, words, and emotions that match the life you want, not the one you fear. You've probably heard the phrase, "You are what you think." That's only half true. In reality, you are what you keep telling yourself every single day. Our subconscious mind never sleeps. It listens to everything we say and think, and it accepts those messages as truth. If you constantly say, "I can't do this," your mind quietly agrees. If you repeat, "I'm unlucky," your brain begins to filter the world through that belief. But if you start saying, "I'm capable, I'm improving, I will find a way," then your mind begins to work for you, not against you. Self-suggestion is like programming a computer. Your thoughts are the code. The better the code, the better the results. The process is simple but powerful. It starts with your desire, the dream you want to make real. Then you combine that desire with belief, the certainty that you can achieve it. Finally, you use self-suggestion to communicate this message to your subconscious mind over and over until it becomes part of who you are. For example, imagine someone who dreams of financial freedom. If they wake up each morning saying, "I'll never make enough money," their subconscious mind locks them into a pattern of scarcity. But if they begin each day with conviction, saying, "Money flows to me because I create value. I am building wealth step by step," their subconscious begins to open doors, guiding their thoughts and actions toward that truth. It's not magic, it's focus. Your mind acts on the ideas you feed it most often. Just as your body becomes what you eat, your life becomes what you think. The key is emotion. Words alone are not enough. You must feel what you say. When you repeat a thought with emotion, with excitement, gratitude, or determination, it penetrates deeply into your subconscious. Emotion gives energy to belief. It turns cold words into living commands. The best way to use self-suggestion is to create clear, positive statements that describe the future you want, as if it already exists. For example, "I am confident, focused, and capable of achieving my goals. I attract opportunities that align with my purpose. I am becoming wealthier, healthier, and more peaceful every day." Repeat these statements daily, morning and night, when your mind is calm and open. Speak them aloud, visualize them, feel them. Over time, your subconscious begins to treat them as reality. You'll start making decisions that reflect those beliefs, even without realizing it. This is the same method that countless successful people have used even before they knew it had a name. Athletes visualize victory. Entrepreneurs imagine success before it happens. Artists see their masterpiece in the mind long before it exists in the world. That's the hidden strength of self-suggestion. It creates alignment between your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Once all three move in the same direction, success becomes inevitable. But remember, self-suggestion requires discipline. You can't just say positive words once and expect miracles. The old beliefs, the weeds, won't disappear overnight. You must repeat your new thoughts again and again until they become the dominant voice in your mind. At first, it might feel strange. You may not fully believe your words. That's okay. Keep going. Each repetition weakens the old patterns and strengthens the new ones. Eventually, the voice of faith will be louder than the voice of fear. Self-suggestion is also a test of patience. The mind resists change at first, but persistence wins. One day, you'll realize something powerful has happened. The words you once forced yourself to say now feel natural. They are no longer affirmations, they have become your reality. When that happens, your outer world begins to transform. You'll attract better opportunities, make bolder choices, and face challenges with new confidence. Because the truth is, the subconscious mind does not care whether your thoughts are true or false. It only acts on what you feed it most. So why not feed it something beautiful, powerful, and full of hope? Every morning, remind yourself, "I am the creator of my thoughts, and my thoughts create my world." Self-suggestion is the bridge between imagination and action. It's the way to take control of your own mind, and once you do that, everything else falls into place. Key thought: speak to yourself as the person you wish to become, and your mind will begin to believe it. Chapter 4: Specialized Knowledge, the Foundation of Building Wealth. Knowledge is power, but only when it's organized, directed, and used toward a clear purpose. We all know people who are intelligent, who read a lot, who know many things, yet they never seem to achieve much. And then there are others who may not know everything, but they use what they do know in a focused, effective way, and they succeed. The difference between them is not intelligence, it's specialized knowledge. General knowledge is like a vast ocean, wide but shallow. Specialized knowledge is like a river, narrow but deep, powerful enough to move anything in its path. You don't need to know everything in the world. You just need to know enough about one thing, deeply enough to become valuable. This is one of the biggest secrets of success. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you can do with what you know. Many people believe that formal education guarantees success, but the truth is, schools often teach information, not application. Knowledge itself doesn't create wealth, the use of knowledge does. You could have a degree in business and still fail at running one. You could know all about health and still live in poor condition. Because knowledge is potential power, it only becomes real power when combined with action and purpose. Specialized knowledge is the kind of learning that connects directly to your goals. It could be a skill, a craft, a trade, or an understanding of people. Whatever it is, it must serve a purpose. It must help you move closer to your dream. Imagine you want to build a successful business. You don't need to be an expert in every area: marketing, finance, production, and design. You only need to learn enough about your field and then surround yourself with others who have the knowledge you don't. That's what great leaders do. They don't try to know everything. They gather knowledge through others. They build teams, learn from mentors, and never stop expanding their understanding. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to gain specialized knowledge is to learn continuously. Success belongs to those who never stop being students. The moment you think you know enough, you stop growing, and when you stop growing, you start falling behind. We live in a time when knowledge changes fast. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. That's why true winners never say, "I know it all." They say, "I'm still learning." And the best part, you don't need to wait for permission or a degree to start. Specialized knowledge can be built anywhere, through books, experience, mentors, online courses, or even through failure. Every mistake teaches you something new about your craft, something no school can give. There's a simple truth here. The more valuable your knowledge becomes, the more valuable you become. Think of every successful person you admire: inventors, artists, entrepreneurs, leaders. They all mastered something specific. They studied it, practiced it, lived it. Then they shared it with the world in their own way. To build wealth, you must do the same. Find something that excites you, something that stirs your curiosity, and then dive deep. Learn everything you can about it, not because you have to, but because you want to. Passion makes learning powerful. It turns effort into joy. But remember, specialized knowledge without action is wasted potential. You must apply what you learn, turn ideas into steps, test, experiment, fail, adjust, and keep moving forward. Every action gives your knowledge life. Sometimes people say, "But I don't have enough education." The truth is, neither did many of the world's greatest achievers. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They learned as they went. They took every opportunity to grow, to ask questions, to gain understanding. They knew that knowledge, like money, multiplies when it's used. So don't worry about being the smartest person in the room. Be the one who's always learning, always applying, always improving. Specialized knowledge gives you confidence. It makes you valuable in any environment. It allows you to see solutions where others see problems. And it gives you freedom, because the more you know about something important, the less you depend on luck or chance. One of the greatest advantages of specialized knowledge is that it turns your mind into a magnet for opportunity. When you understand your field deeply, you begin to see connections and ideas that others miss. That's how innovation is born, from people who know their craft so well that they start to imagine new ways of doing it. So ask yourself, what do I know deeply? What skill, subject, or idea excites me enough to master it? How can I use that knowledge to create value for others? When you find the answer, you've found your gold mine. Key thought: knowledge becomes power only when it is organized, applied, and directed toward a clear goal. This concludes the first part of the book. See you in the next part. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated.